The best offense in the Big Ten will go to the plate first in the Big Ten championship game. And it's Cora Bassett, a redshirt junior, who will lead things off, a transfer out of Purdue, ironically. You don't see many transfers from rival school to rival school, but in her second year playing at Indiana, wearing the cream and crimson, and she will get things started. First pitch of the Big Ten softball championship game into the dirt.
And this is an interesting top of the lineup here. We talked a lot about Taryn Kern, but Cora Bassett and Taylor Minnick between, ahead and behind, those are the hardest spots in this lineup because you're going to see good pitches. You have to produce. Cora Bassett is one who has just done a phenomenal job in the top of that lineup. Doesn't swing and miss very often. She's going to get her hacks in, foul off what she doesn't like.
Ground ball to Maeve Nelson. Charges over and no problem. One up, one down for this, as I talked about, this Northwestern defense that has been so solid in the Big Ten tournament. Very experienced group. And that is the uniqueness, right, of this matchup. The experience. You've got 4-year seniors, 5-year seniors for Northwestern, and you've got a bunch of freshmen and sophomores for Indiana. And they clash head-to-head in the championship game. The upperclassmen just 2 in the lineup for Indiana. And one of those freshmen, we've talked about Taryn Kern, who steps to the plate, and she is 0 for 7 in the Big Ten tournament.
This is a good sign because her stats, one pitch swinging, she only does 8.5% of the time. She went and she attacked the first pitch on Danielle Williams. That was part of the game plan going into this game, is look early and often to drive a pitch early on in the count.
Foul tips it back.
You can see that mini game adjustment. I think those are the things that Indiana and Northwestern both do really, really well, is their ability to make many adjustments here in sticking to this game plan as Kern looking to swing at those first 2 pitches, now having to fight from behind, which is not a great place to be, but getting her hacks in nonetheless.
No balls, 2 strikes against Kern, and she hit her. And Kern snuggles up into, we've shown you, she's real tight on close to the inside of the plate, and this is another hit by pitch.
Right on that chalk line. That pitch just way too far inside. Kern didn't have to move at all. But I think part of the key to this game, especially to a lefty like Kern, is you have to be able to establish the inside part of the plate. And so you've got to bring it in. You've got to be tight in, try to get that call, force Kern to turn on it. In that case, too far in.
21 times that Kern has been hit by a pitch this year. You factor that in with 41 walks, too. I mean, that's 62 free bases that she has in her freshman season.
And as a freshman, that's something where you have to look and you have to celebrate that. You have to get on base, and that's what she does well.
Minnick fouls it back. This is where Indiana can be dangerous. You can look at it one of 2 ways, right? That your player of the year hasn't produced, and Indiana still has 6 home runs, like we showed you that graphic, and they've picked up a couple of wins without their player of the year candidate picking up a hit. You know, we had a chance to talk to Shonda Stanton before this game. She had a conversation with Kern, and she said, look, you know, thank you for being who you are, because it's opened things up for people like Taylor Minnick, for people like Sarah Stone to step up and see more pitches, for Cora Bassett perhaps.
Yeah, and if you think about it, if you're going to pitch a Taylor Kern, your full focus is on Taylor Kern and getting her out, then you're starting to throw more to a Cora Bassett, to a Taylor Minnick, to a Sarah Stone, and you're seeing it pay off. So it has made them better, has elevated them by her being good.
That was a home run swing for Minnick. She's got 12 home runs on the year, and she was looking for 13 here.
Yeah, Minnick swinging big. Williams pulling the string on that one, introducing that changeup early. You have to do that against your big hitters. It's something that Indiana knows is going to happen. You've got to sit change or focus on hitting those east-west pitches. Pick a side and drive it. Minnick, one of the best eyes on the team.
A hard grounder, that's foul. I mentioned these two teams didn't meet in the regular season. This is the 4th meeting in the Big Ten tournament. The history between the two schools. And last year, it was a Danielle Williams who did take on some of these players against Indiana. The Wildcats swept the Hoosiers last year in 3 games. But the Wildcats not only coming in with more veteran experience, they've been to the Women's College World Series. They won the last 12 against Indiana. And fighting it off again, Minnick.
And again, part of the game plan is swinging early and often. The other part is working to set yourself up in a way that makes sense. In the box, you can see how Minnick's back a little bit.
A full count. And a 9-pitch at bat now.
You can see how far back Minnick is in the box. She lets that pitch come in and just fouls it off. She's trying to take away the movement a little bit when she sits back, trying to swing at something that falls over the plate and not something that spins further out.
And she drives it right at the first baseman. Nikki Cochran heads up play and doubles up the Hoosiers.
Due to time constraints, we now move ahead in the action.
And this team is well aware of it. Had a conversation about that with the team this morning. You know, she has talked about, we showed you how veteran they are, a bunch of, you know, five-year seniors, some 4-year seniors on this team. She said, this is the year of honesty that I can have with this team. If they're talking about it in the locker room, I can help kind of steer that conversation a little bit. And now this team, trailing by a run, still has a chance for a comeback, but a chance to do something that not many Northwestern teams have done. But this Indiana offense keeps coming at them. And Taylor Minnick has another hit in the Big Ten tournament to lead things off.
Taylor Minnick has just seen the ball so beautifully. This is an inside pitch. She picks it, turns on it, and just lines it into the outfield. Just getting her barrel on the ball and through the zone. Getting the leadoff runner on. The second inning in a row.
Aaliyah Andrews is your pinch runner for Minnick. Sometimes she will appear in right field defensively for Indiana. A big pinch running situation for her. Sarah Stone at the plate. Let's not forget Indiana, you know, after knocking off Minnesota, Minnesota had the longest active win streak in the Big Ten and now is owned to Indiana. They won 11 straight. During that 11-game win streak, Sarah Stone, your batter at the plate, has the most RBI on the team, but she's well ahead of that one.
Yeah, and that was the pitch that got her last at bat. Many adjustments. I've said it time and time again, that changeup is going to get you, but if you know that you're one of the big hitters in this lineup, sometimes you've got to sit change. You've got to be prepared to see it come in. And even when you lay off of it, and I think that that's the big key when you're a Sarah Stone or a Taylor Minnick, for example, is when Danielle Williams will throw a changeup back-to-back like she just did there, you can't lay off of it because it falls through the zone too many times.
1 ball, 2 strikes, and fouls it off. Cochran is there, nearly got it. Almost had a basket catch, headed towards the fence over there on first base. Stone has had her moments. One ball, 2 strikes. A couple of home runs in the Big Ten tournament for Sarah Stone. The only 2 hits for her in the Big Ten tournament.
If I'm Sarah Stone right here, I'm looking changeup right now. Like, to me, this is a perfect moment for Williams to deliver a changeup.
The 1-2.
especially when you're getting a batter to foul off over and over and over again, where her timing's a little bit better with that fast stuff. And that's really where you introduce it. I would almost bring it maybe a little bit further on the outside part of the plate. Again, Williams tends to bring it over the plate.
The 7th pitch of the at-bat will go to an 8-pitch at-bat. A hard ground ball backhanded by Cochran, goes and gets the lead runner for the out.
That was a pretty hard hit ball for Cochran to go and get that backhand, and great positioning for her. You see how she kind of reaches out, bounces in her glove, and because of the positioning of where she is, she was able to get the lead runner, Andrews. Perfect position for her to make that throw to second.
Brianna Copeland, a dangerous hitter at the plate. But Stone struck out against Williams in her last time up, and Copeland has struck out against Williams in her last time up. And like Stone, her only 2 hits of the Big Ten tournament have been home runs in the Big Ten tournament. But a hard ground ball again to the right side. Northwestern looking to turn 2, but Copeland beats it out. So the Cats get 1 out of that, and now 2 away.
And the defense just eating up these ground balls. Heads up play, and this is again going to talk about an experienced team that feels confident to make and get that lead runner. Sometimes when you're a younger team, a newer team, the game is so fast that you want to get the sure out, and so you make the safe bet and you go to first base. Northwestern not doing that here this inning.
Runner goes, Copeland is running, it's a hit and run. Copeland rounding third, and she's gonna stay put there, gets the stop sign, but Parker dives back to first base. And so this is interesting. A 1st and 3rd situation now. Uh-oh, hang on. We've got an out call, and that is the 3rd out of the inning. So this 1st and 3rd situation is wiped away. Let's take a look at the whole play.
So a hit and run. So play gets out there.
Hey, the Hoosiers, number 1 hit, no errors, and
They're saying she left early. You can see Copeland's foot. Oh, yeah.
Well, early.
Big time early.
One of the best conferences in the country. Conference, as Kansas Robinson gets hit by a pitch on the first pitch to open up the bottom of the 4th, but a conference we feel like has 5 solid reasons to make a case, 5 teams that can make a case for the NCAA tournament. And a case could be made too for Maryland and Penn State. You know, with Penn State, you've got a team that peaking at the right time, by the way, winning 11 of its last 14 games, 3 of those losses, one of them to Indiana in extra innings, 9-inning quarterfinal game. And then you've got a Maryland team that at one point was ranked in the top 25, but has suffered some injuries to some key players. They started the year 20-4. Some of their key players, 3 of them got injured. Those players are now back at the end of the year. So really you can make a case for 7 Big Ten teams. You know, the top 4 seeds, Ohio State as the top 5 seeds. And then as we talked about, Maryland and Penn State, all 7 of those teams, you see where they rank in the RPI across the country. Jordan Rudd floats it, and grabbing it is Benson. She's been a vacuum there at the shortstop position for Indiana.
And I think like the reality of the Big Ten right now that is important to note is that it is competitive very deep into the Big Ten. I think there have been times in the past where the teams at the bottom of the Big Ten hasn't been as competitive, but you know, to make a case for 7 teams to have 10 teams that are RPI of 50 or higher, I mean, it says a lot about what the conference is doing, how they're competing, how they're showing up to play. We've seen even regular season conference battles that have not been giant sweeps. They've been back and forth, they've been high scoring, all of those things that are a really good sign that it's competitive here in the Big Ten.
Yeah, again, we feel like those top 5 teams, you know, their resume speaks for themselves. And then you could make that argument, like I said, for a Penn State and a Maryland. Penn State, with the way they closed the season, played against top competition, in Maryland with the injury considerations. They were a top 25 team at the beginning of the year. Now for Northwestern, you know, the case going into today, could they be a top 8 national seed? And if they are, what does that mean? They could host regionals, they could host super regionals, and so the road to the Women's College World Series would go through Evanston, which would be huge for Northwestern if they could get that to happen. You know, their RPI, they are 8 coming into this game. They are right there, and keeping an eye about how they compare with some of the other teams that are either ahead of them in the RPI or behind them in the RPI. Make a really big argument. So we're looking across some of the conference championships across the country, looking at some of the scores, and it's significant. Texas is 2 spots behind Northwestern in the RPI. They lost their championship game. Duke is 2 spots ahead of Northwestern. They lost their championship game. Tennessee is just right behind at number 9, and they're leading in their SEC championship game. So you would think Northwestern fares nicely with comparable resumes to a Duke who lost their title game, a Texas who lost their title game. You know, the door is open for the Wildcats to step right in as a top 8 seed. Ground ball there for Katie, toss to second, throw to first for the out. Hoosiers doubling up the Wildcats. This savvy veteran team about the history of that. And trying to change history here today, but trailing by a run as we head to the top of the 5th. Avery Parker still at the plate. She was at the plate on a attempted hit and run opportunity for Indiana, but Copeland left early at first base.
And yeah, it was a hit and run, but first pitch swinging, and she tagged that ball. That was absolutely right. Shake it off, like you said, and come back and compete.
Parker, a ground ball to Nelson. And the throw is made, got her, but it was close.
So far in this tournament have made the smart decisions of when to use those challenges.
Seeing that graphic, 1 challenge left for both of these coaches could come into play as we head into the final few innings here and only a 1-0 game. Cassidy Kettleman reached on the air, and then she was the one to score the only run of the game. And a play there on the base path. We heard Kate Drohan say she was challenging for a couple of reasons. One, to see if she was tagged, and the other to see if she went completely out of the base path.
You can see Kettleman stepping into the box here. Her toes are in the front on the chalk, and her back foot is on the back chalk line as well. Taking away that inside pitch, trying to take it away. Williams has to establish that pitch on the inside corner anyway.
Would that allow her to identify the changeup coming?
Yeah, if you sit back enough, absolutely. You can see it from there too, how far back she is. Takes away the movement as well.
Indiana making history just with an appearance here in the Big Ten championship game. Their first appearance in program history in the tournament championship game. And up and over, hit the glove of Katie, and she's aboard. And so a single for Kettleman, and it brings up Kinsey Mitchell. Indiana. Tag is made, the throw to first for the second out, but she's safe. Talent, the freshman coming in. Combined with sophomores who have experience, some juniors and seniors who get some playing time, who have accepted some of the new faces in this role. And it's all resulted in a number 2 seed for Indiana this year and their first trip to the Big Ten championship game. Outside pitch in for a strike, 0-2 now the count to Benson.
Benson had a sack bunt last time, so this is her first chance. Really swing away. Ada Williams, you can see her toes near the front chalk line as well.
These Northwestern fans trying to do their best Danielle Williams impression.
That's how I learned.
Okay, we got a Hoosier fan next to a Wildcat fan. And they're getting along. Love to see it. Ground ball again to Nelson. She's gonna have to make the play at first base. Got her. Good scoop there for Nikki Cochran. Left field. And her Hoosiers still with a 1-0 advantage.
They haven't been able to settle in very well in the box.
Angela Zidak, 0 for 1 at the plate. Flew out in her first time up in the second inning. Carol Copeland, and that's Brianna's mom, videotapes every play. She wanted us to give a shout out to her husband, Terry, who couldn't make the tournament here this week. Zidak takes it again to Andrews in right field for the second out.
Watch her reaction and know what happens in the game. Just put a little camera on her in the corner and
well, you can see her there in the top left of your screen every time we take that center field camera look. Here's Maeve Nelson, who flew out in the second. And Nelson pops it up. And so 3 fly ball outs. Brianna Copeland, Indiana. Mom will cheer that one on.
is a sign of the quality of pitchers that we have in a circle.
Cora Bassett at the plate, 0 for 2.
Give credit to Indiana too. I think so far sticking to that game plan of attacking early.
And Bassett puts it in the air, shallow center field. The shortstop Maeve Nelson comes over to make the play, and 1 down. The way, look at how far back this infield is for Northwestern against Taryn Kern, the player of the year and freshman of the year. Still looking again for her first hit of the Big Ten tournament. 0 for 1 here today. 0 for 8 for the Big Ten tournament. The positive spin on that, Indiana has won its first 2 games in the Big Ten tournament. Indiana still producing. Here's the 1-1. One ball, 2 strikes.
Kern again getting behind in the count, 1-2. I think her approach to her at bat's better. Williams not afraid to go right at her though.
Two and two now the count. Kern, a California native, took a trip to Bloomington's campus with her dad. during a Final Four weekend in Indianapolis. And fell in love with the campus and the program. Dad played baseball at Gonzaga, and it was the year when they had the Final Four in the whole NCAA basketball tournament in Indianapolis. So Gonzaga was there at the time. They decided to make it a father-daughter trip. They weren't able actually to be in person with the coaching staff because of COVID. That was not allowed as a recruiting opportunity between coaches and potential recruits, so they went on their own. Fell in love with it. And so the California kid now playing in Bloomington. A swing and a miss, and she strikes out. Taylor Minnick just rockets one, but it's foul.
30 more RBI this year.
Hard ground ball. Hannah Cady gets down on one knee to field it for the third out.
Hot as she's been at the plate. Certainly one here in the bottom of the sixth when the innings are kind of running out, that you want somebody like Nader to kind of find some of that success she's had so far in the tournament.
It's 8-9-1 here for Northwestern, trailing by a run.
And to that point, though, I mean, in general, the textbook is get your 8 and 9 out. Start the top of this lineup with 2 outs if you're Indiana.
Two balls, 2 strikes. I love that Warwick looked back at Naomi Erdahl. Like, what's the call on that? What's the call on that pitch?
I don't know if Naomi Erdahl had to think about it, but this was beautifully on the corner.
In the dirt.
So out of the baseline being part of the question that Kate Drohan had upon review was that she was in the baseline. Important to note there.
So when the call on the field is the run scores, that is hard to judge and reverse that call when you don't have those measurements on the field to be exact on if the base runner is in the baseline or out.
Right, and you have to make a pretty obvious call. I think that if Kettleman, for example, ran into the grassy area of the field, that could have been a different conversation.
Nito lays down the bunt, moves the runner over, and now a runner in scoring position.
After Schellmeyer, who has created production, or had been very good with production today, double. He's got to be careful to make sure that that footwork stays in that box.
As the home team, the top seed in the bottom of the 7th if they need it. Schellmeyer skies one to left field. And now 2 outs.
And pop flies in this situation are so good, especially when they're shallow, because a runner is unable to advance. So Strands Nader there at second base still. And now you have those 2 outs. It's a much better position for Indiana to be in. But Kansas Robinson, again, has produced here today.
2 outs, yeah, for Kansas Robinson. She's a first-year player for Northwestern.
Well, and she's had better at-bats today to me than Jordan Rudd, who's behind her. And I realize Jordan Rudd might be kind of the better producer in general overall, but Kansas Robinson is as good as she's kind of been seeing the ball today. You've got that base to give. I think you'd be a little bit careful about what you deliver.
Well, she bats .333, 27 at-bats with a runner in scoring position this year for the first-year player. How's that back? But Northwestern, man, they have had a tough time trying to figure out Brianna Copeland today. Throwing a 1-hitter here so far in the championship game. And Nader at second, representing the tying run. Robinson has the go-ahead. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Northwestern trailing by a run. And takes it into the air. How about the over-the-shoulder grab? Saving a run, Brooke Benson. So this youthful Indiana team testing the vets of Northwestern. In the championship game for the first time in program history. Headed to a fielder's choice in the 4th inning in an 8-pitch at-bat. Struck out in her first time up, Sarah Stone, in the 2nd inning. And she takes one to left field, gets under the glove of Zedak. And here comes Sarah Stone taking 2.
You talk about somebody who you're asking them to put their mind right. And their mind being right is what makes them believe. And she's not telling them they have to believe, she's asking them how they believe. And I think that's a big step in the right direction because it puts the ball in their hands. It puts that situation in their hands to make the decision for themselves.
Brianna Copeland at the plate, squares around to bunt. And now 2 strikes against her. So she'll have to start swinging.
Bree Copeland, one of the batters in this lineup to me that I feel like has had really, really great at-bats. She's been able to connect when her team hasn't against pitchers throughout this tournament that maybe others have struggled with. And she's put the ball in play.
And a swing and a miss, a strikeout, and the first out, the throw to first to make it official. And the first out and the 4th strikeout for Danielle Williams.
Copeland, another victim of that off-speed.
The right fielder, number 18.
See, this one even falls low in the zone, into the dirt. Copeland can't lay off of it. Heads up to start the run to first base, but Rubb makes a good throw, no problem. A huge out for Danielle Williams in this Northwestern defense.
Parker fouls it back. Avery Parker is a player that's played behind home plate, played right field this year for Indiana. One of those 11 freshmen and sophomores on this team.
Williams continually delivers the ball into the zone. And that's ultimately what she has to do in spite of the fact that the game plan for the Hoosiers has been attack early and often. You've got to bring your pitches in the zone. You've got to trust your stuff. And you see that she does that even on 0-2, that pitch well into the zone.
Parker batting .321 with runners in scoring position this year. The Hoosiers, though, as a team, have been 0-2 today.
To me, the best hit of the day against Danielle Williams was the one that happened to be erased in the scorebook, the hit and run, where Bree Copeland left early, but just a solid hit, and it came from Avery Parker.
And she goes right back up the middle, trying to beat out the throw, and it's there by Grace Nito, but the runner advances over to third, 60 feet away for Tatum Hayes and Indiana to go up 2-0.
Nito going back on that ball could have saved an attempt from Hayes to try to go home if that got a little bit further into the outfield. So not only did they get an out, showing a lot of range is Nito.
Cassidy Kettleman. The only other Big Ten tournament championship game to be a 1-0 final, we showed it to you, 2008 when Northwestern, the last time they won a Big Ten tournament, they won 1-0 against Iowa that year. Here's Kettleman, who is responsible for the only run of the game, an unearned run. Lots to talk about with that run in the top of the third. And so far, that's the only run that has stood across this game into the top of the 7th.
How about Shonda Stanton trying to squeeze with 2 outs? Be aggressive.
Never put anything past these coaches, Jenny Ritter.
Not Shonda Stanton. She is all about being aggressive on that base path and keep the defense off balance as much as they can.
On a 2-strike at bat, a ground ball back to Danielle Williams. The Big Ten championship has come down to this. Beat the #1 seed in the Big Ten tournament. Jenny Ritter, Lisa Byington with you, our entire Big Ten Network crew. The coverage of the Big Ten softball tournament coming down here, and Jordan Rudd has her first hit of the Big Ten tournament in the bottom of the 7th in the championship game.
This Northwestern team is dangerous when their backs are against the wall. Jordan Rudd attacking first pitch strike here. She has not had a whole lot of great at-bats here in this tournament. Her first hit comes right now, but no bigger time than this moment.
Zaborski, your pinch runner, for Rudd at first base. So first batter is aboard. Remember, we've had 4 walk-offs in this tournament this week. A couple in the first day, a couple in our quarterfinal day. Got a game going to 9 innings even. Lots of drama in the Big Ten tournament that's ending here in the championship game. Hannah Katie at the plate.
Hannah Katie, one of the batters in this lineup that's seen the ball really well with runner on base. At 2-0 count, this is where Copeland has to reel it in a little bit, trust her stuff. Just because she gave up a hit, go back to what has happened throughout the course of this game and not focus on that hit, focus on the moments prior to that where she's had a lot of success and work to get batters out. If you focus on the runner, you focus on the things that didn't go your way, that's when Northwestern can kind of get their foot in the door, try to even the score.
2 balls, 1 strike, 2 balls, 2 strikes after the foul ball. Katie, that's a foul ball. Out of play.
I don't know why I'm nervous for both of these teams. Bottom of the 7th here, a lot on the line.
Count goes full. Come on, these are the moments that you live for. You would love it if you were out there in the circle.
No doubt, but Copeland can't afford to miss on this pitch.
And Katie drives it into the gap. Zaborski over to third, is holed up, and runners at second and third. The Cats are coming. The Cats are coming in the bottom of the 7th.
And Katie knew it. Like I said, you can't afford to miss on a 3-2 when you have a runner on base, no outs. As a pitcher, you have to deliver this pitch. Katie sees it, tags it into the gap. One of the hardest hit balls I've seen Northwestern have so far today. Great backup by Mitchell, or a run scores there, but Zaborski rounds and gets all the way to third base. 2 in scoring position, still no outs. And why is this a big deal? No outs, you can do 2 sack flies and score these runs on advancing on a sack fly if you want to. This is a tough situation for the Hoosiers to be in, let alone you don't want to lose the lead, but now you've got a runner to actually win the ball game too on a walk-off.
Let's revisit a conversation with Kate Drohan before this game. She said, I'm going to rely on the experience. This is an Indiana team we recognize that has a lot of energy. And we asked her, how do you counter that? She said, you know, our pedigree counters that. We handle it with our own adrenaline. It's all about us. We are focused, we are decisive, and we have been there before. And that, in these moments, that's where we're going to lean on in those championship-type atmosphere moments.
This is a team, you can never, ever count them out. And it comes from that moment of we're focused on ourselves. We don't care about the other team. We care about us. We care about what we're going to do. And because of that, you can never, ever rule them out. And showing it here, how dangerous of a team they can be.
Nikki Cochran at the plate, swings at the first pitch. And one of those players, Fitting, who has been there before, one of the fifth years, decided to come back to play an extra year in Evanston for these moments.
Home run power, not that she needs it here, just a single would work.
Cochran, a foul ball, and a valiant chase down by Kettleman.
I don't know that I would have caught that though. You catch that, you're not in a position to throw. There's a potential that Saborski could have tagged and scored on that and evened up the score. Not that you want to put the bat back in the hands of Nikki Cochran, but you're trying to make sure that you keep that 0 on that scoreboard in the runs column for Northwestern.
Angela Zidak on deck. Coming into this game, the best hitter in the Big Ten tournament for Northwestern.
Yeah, seldom would you say you're in a good spot with no outs because you're getting the bottom of the lineup up for Northwestern, but they've been so good.
The 0-2. She did not come all the way around, so 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Man, what a pitch. Got Nikki Cochran thinking about it. Polk keeps her bat back. That is a phenomenal 0-2 pitch.
Come on, boy. There we go, we got her now. Greg, you got her now. That's it.
Cochran fouls it back. Nice battle here between Cochran and Copeland.
And I think Copeland's got to find that out pitch. You don't want to work this full. You do have a base to give. First base open. But a dangerous Zidak behind Cochran here. What a battle. 6 pitches so far this at bat.
The 2-2, high to Cochran. And the count goes full.
Northwestern, just outstanding job. The second full count. Again, another pitch that needs to be delivered here.
Into the dirt, it gets past the catcher. Saborski comes in, we're tied at 1.
Nikki Cochran heads up base running to get all the way to second base as well. Does not stop at first on the walk, but an unfortunate pitch here. This ball just gets away from Copeland. You can see her wipe her hand on her pants as soon as she saw it in that dirt. Saborski scores easily, evens this score, and Northwestern in the same position now that they were before, but now fighting for the win as opposed to the tie. You cannot count them out.
Angela Zidak now at the plate and an opportunity to win it. A wild pitch.
Look at this miss, though. This is why when you are planning on an intentional walk that you are prepared at the base path. That was well in the zone. Zidak didn't just stand there and wait to take that walk. She took her hack on that.
That could have been disastrous here for Indiana.
Could have been dangerous. You can see Copeland, some pitchers, myself included, always struggled with intentional walks, trying to get that pitch up and out enough because you're so used to attacking the zone.
It's not something you practice a whole lot.
Well, and you have to. And to your point, you have to practice the intentional. You have to make sure you can trust yourself to throw that way. A couple dangerous pitches here so far.
We're locked after the wild pitch on ball 4. Now the base is loaded. They elect to pass on Zidak, and they're going to pitch to Maeve Nelson.
And I think this is the one batter that you go and attack. Maeve Nelson had a big hit yesterday, a home run. But in general, over the course of the season, I think her success came less in big hits. But that's the power that she's had. We've seen her have power like that over the course of her career.
Interesting, Michelle Gascoigne, the pitching coach, knows what these pitchers offer. And the pitching change, it'll be Heather Johnson, who was fantastic in relief in the semifinals against Minnesota. So fantastic. Shonda Stanton thought she was going to have to put Copeland back in, re-enter her back into the game, but Johnson was so good, they didn't have to do that.
Yeah, and she's just enough change of speeds. She's just enough of a different look from Bree Copeland. And that is where you need to kind of win here right now. She works east-west, mid-60s.
And I love Michelle, that shot that we had, Michelle Gascoigne coming up to Maeve Nelson and talking her through the pitches and the pitcher she's about to see.
Yeah. And your look's going to be different too. You got a lefty pitcher in versus a righty. And so the movement on the ball that comes in is going to have a bit different of a look as well. And Nelson, to me, in this situation, keep in mind, there are no outs in this inning. So if you're Nelson, it's not about having the pressure of having to come through big, because if you don't do it, you have other batters that can do it. So it's about just getting your barrel on the ball, put it in the field.
Strike call on Johnson's first pitch of the game. The 0-1, Nelson takes it to right field, it's foul. Avery Parker over there in right field after the pitching change has been made. But to your point, Jenny, maybe she could have gotten to that, but decided.
Well, and now you're in a walk-off situation, right?
Yeah.
Not a moment where you're going to tie it up. So in that situation, there was not a single chance that if Parker caught that, she'd be able to turn and make the out throw.
Just chasing it down, just in the fact that it might go from foul to fair over there.
To your point on that, even if it were fair and Parker made the catch, I think that was deep enough to score the run.
No balls, 2 strikes. Outside pitch. 1-2 the count. Nelson trying to find the cap, off the wall, Katie scores! It's a Wildcat walk-off for the championship!
What a moment for Maeve Nelson.